Good evening and welcome along to a bit more Dundee United action with me, Daniel. We are back today for 4 more games in our first SPL season, and we've also got transfer news. I couldn't help myself. You can probably see a bit of it littered somewhere on this page. Actually, I'm not sure if any of it's given away. There's one player's name on there, and I think I might have got away with the rest. But we'll go and meet all of those in a minute. We'll play 4 more games, starting with Aberdeen at home, who have had a really poor start. St Johnstone away, who are doing really well. Ross County at home and St Mirren away. St Mirren, the basement side, where it could all go wrong. As it did at the end, to be honest. Mark, this guy on SSN is brutal. Who's that? Go on. Nevki, good evening. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming along. Thank you for everyone who was waiting. I don't think I've ever had 6 thumbs up before starting before, so thank you for your kindness. Please do chuck one on if you haven't already, and come and get involved in the chat, of course. Those of you that are following me over on Discord and Twitter will know I'm in a pretty good mood today, because I had the lovely announcement via email from Luton an hour ago that I'm going to the Preston game this Saturday. So a return to live football at my own club is going to be something special. So hopefully you guys, if you haven't already with the clubs you support, will have the chance to. But I'm going back to watch a game. I can't wait for it. Robbie, you're going to beat Luton tonight. Well, I've got that ready to watch straight after. Hopefully my last iFollow game of the week should all go to plan. Oh, Mark, Kia, Tevez's and Mascherano's agent. I remember them from the 06 days, the West Ham Liverpool saga. He's a bizarre fellow. Him and, who's the other one? Raiola, the agent of Pogba and that, yeah. The less said about those two, the better. Let's not start on agents. I'm in a good mood today. Charlie's back with the best subject. Chicken balti pies. Can't get them at my local chip shop. You had one the other night. Talk to me about it. Well, it is just the best version of pie, isn't it? You cannot beat a chicken balti pie. We all know they're not authentic curry flavour. They're not great. But the combination just works a treat. So chicken balti pie's the way forward. Mark, he's just slated Jamie Carragher for 20 minutes live on air. The thing is, he doesn't mind. He doesn't really care what the reaction is, does he? I think Carragher said a few things about him with Mascherano when he was at Liverpool. But either way, doesn't really matter, does it? No point talking about agents too much. Won't be here, just want to say, hey Tom, good to see Luton v Arsenal in the Championship. Steady on, Craig. It's not that much of a disaster. What I will say, though, is the fact that Arteta out is trending is bizarre to me. Robbie, liking the podcast, mate, I'd look at it. Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. Obviously, it's been a few Coventry themes in recent weeks with Graham McSheffrey and the Championship predictions. I don't think there's any Coventry ones coming up. We've got a chairman for the first time this Friday for an interview. Baffling. He talks about the recruitment meetings and the transfers, how they're done at the club. I kid you not, it's almost identical to what FM have put in this year. So it's really baffling for realism that it was that close. So that's the main one we've got. Ian Crocker, the Scottish commentator. I won't let Mark have his words on him because I know what he thinks. Or the Scottish League commentator, I should say. He's an Englishman. What other pros have we got? Alan Jenkins, a former player at Gretna and Ballymena. And Mark O'Brien, the former Newport player. They're the 4 pending at the minute. Tom, who do you support? Luton Town, I hope. Luton are your way to go. We'll probably be the more likely to win at that point as well. I don't want to cause any more, but thank you for everyone coming in. Let's go and have a look at Dundee United, shall we? We've got some transfer news and we've got 3 games to look at as well. So let's start with the transfers because the games will give too much away. So transfer history. Don't forget we can't use the player search screen. So I went and spoke to my old pal Nathan Jones at Luton, my club. I got into the scout reports. And we got into the transfer rumours. And these are the players we came up with. Thanks to Luton Town. A double signing from my beloved club. And 2 more that came in as well. One which had been a long-term target at the top. And then one that's just a short-term loan while we wait for another target to hopefully come in. We've also, as a result of that, had 3 leave the club on deadline day. One of them was a young player who we didn't know much about. Didn't have a big reputation. Didn't have a big potential. So Sean Brown went to Inverness for $7,000. He's an okay winger and I'm sure he'll be fine at that level. Mark Connolly, the backup centre-half, went to Shrewsbury for £67,000. He was our 4th choice, was going to become 5th, so we let him go. And then Peter Pawlett, who was then the 5th choice centre midfielder, he has gone on loan to Bradford City, who are paying 80% of his wage and £2,500 a month. And we wish him the best there. But that means we've got 4 coming in. 3 from my local area and 1 other. Nevsky, I like the chairman of Tranmere. He seems like a proper nice person. Honestly, there is no person who has done more for our podcast than him. He was the first ever person within the game, active within the game, to speak to us. He invited us into the media area at Wickham, who were brilliant as well. The head of media there was great. And he did an interview with us 20 minutes before a big FA Cup kickoff. And yeah, I mean, he was brilliant. They retweeted our matchday vlog at Watford Tranmere, which was a brilliant FA Cup tie. And him and Nicola basically made it our highest ever viewed episode. And they've set us up with interviews with people at Tranmere. At Wickham at the time, we got a bit of a reputation with. It was brilliant. So yeah, he is an absolute gent and he's done so much for us. So we can't thank him enough. And hopefully we'll get to do an extended interview with him one day, because we all wanted to go and see the match. So we only did 5 or 10 minutes with him, but he was absolute gentleman. And he has the best interest of football at heart. I really believe that. But yeah, absolute gentleman. And Tranmere are lucky to have him, to be fair. And he cares about the club, which makes a difference. The same as we've got at Luton. And it's not all about the money, you know. Both Luton and Tranmere don't take gambling sponsors, you know. So just little things like that. Trying to look after the welfare of the club and the supporters. And both of them got fans back this week, which is brilliant to see. Let's look at the 4 signings, though. Jordan Houghton is the first one. He's come from MK Dons for 76,000. Now, he's only got 3-star ability. He's got big potential. He's natural in the holding role, which means, again, like Rangers away, where we got battered, we can change tactic if need be. And he's got a good personality. He's played 2 cup games for us already and done pretty well. I like the look of him. I think he's going to be a good player. And if I remember rightly, he was a star for MK Dons in the game I went to watch on the podcast the other month. It was Milton Keynes Wimbledon. I'm sure he was the best player, and then they took him off and it fell apart. But there you go. Luke Garbutt's the second, a former hot prospect at Everton. Few loan spells out of the club. He's not really made it now, and he's actually listed as a left winger. So we've got him on loan until January, just as our sort of rotation option with Sporrell. He can cover at left back, and he's a good player. Good set piece taker, good crosser of the ball, and he'll do a job. Again, played the cup games for us. And then we get on to Luton Town, because we've stole a couple from them. Let me get up to the chat first quickly. Carl, are Cardiff going to moan about Stokes porter cabins tonight? I can't remember what score I went for tonight. I think I went for 1-0 Stoke. Or did I go for a draw? Let me go and have a look. I'll tell you what score I went for quickly, because I don't want to get in trouble if I've picked the wrong one. I went for Stoke v Cardiff. What time's the kickoff for that? Is it the 7 o'clock one? Which game's the 7 o'clock tonight? Just trying to find out what I went for. And suddenly Windows Pictures is deciding not to load. Stoke v Cardiff. I went for 1-1. Charlie went for a Stoke win. Craig went for 2-2, which there's no way Stoke and Cardiff are scoring 2 against each other, is there? Into double figures, thank you for your support. Please do chuck a thumbs up if you haven't already. Just 2 away at this early stage. Nevsky, you can't ask more than that. And fair play to him. He's on TalkSport a lot. Makes me want to be Tranmere on FM. Yeah, he's always on Sky Sports News and TalkSport and the BBC Radio, just talking sense. It's just a shame he wasn't FA chairman for longer, because he would have been the one that changed it. But he wouldn't have got the backing in the boardroom because he wanted to change the normal hierarchy. Tom, is Kane's backing in trick when a player jumps for the ball clever play or dangerous and need assessing? It's clever play. It's something that Kevin Davis used to do. Obviously, he wasn't as well known, which is why he didn't get talked about as much. It's something that, as a centre-half, a lot of defenders do as well. So, it's something that's been in the game for years, to be honest. Carl, 7:45, so it's not the early game then. Same as Luton, 7:45. So, we'll be wrapped up well before then. Tucked in for the Championship or Champions League or whatever else you're watching this evening. We'll be there ready. But we've got 2 Luton signings to introduce. Matty Pearson was the first to come in. He was listed as their 4th choice centre-half. It looks like with Tom Lockyer, the Welsh international, coming in to partner Bradley, he will drop down the pecking order this year. but he's 3.5 ability, 3.5 potential. I basically see him as replacing Reynolds next year. Currently the club captain, he's 33. He's got a very similar profile. Maybe Reynolds is slightly better on the ball. But for Pearson, it just seemed like a good option for us. He's fairly good physically, technically. He's got the key attributes, and he'll be a solid player. And if we need someone in the squad, he can cover at right back as well. Glenn Ray is the other one that came in, put on the transfer list on deadline day. So I'm presuming, did Luton maybe get somebody in instead? They bought in on deadline day loads of players. They've got Che Cooper on loan from Spurs, centre and attacking midfielder. Aidan Barlow, centre midfielder. Josh Bowler, winger. And Alfie Whiteman, goalkeeper. Oh, they sold Sluga for $2.5 million to Bournemouth. There you go. Now I know why they were offering me James Shea as well. Maybe at the end of the season we'll revisit that. But Glenn Ray joins for 110 grand. Scored on his debut in the Cup. Scored on his second game in the Cup. And despite being a more defensive-minded midfielder, he has started on fire. If we can keep him fit, he'll do well for us. Currently vice-captain at Luton in real life. And naturally in a holding midfield role again against those bigger clubs on the road. The Old Firm in particular. So we've had 3 games since. Livingston at home, which was before most of these signings. And then we've got the 2 other players as well. The 2 other cup games, sorry, as well. So Livingston at home we beat 4-2. Luke Bolton scored again. McNulty scored again. And Shanklin with a brace. At home to Cowdenbeath with 10 men. They sat a bus or 2 behind the ball. We did nick one in the end. Glenn Ray got on the end of a set-piece knockdown. And we nicked it 1-0 against the League 2 side. We probably beat them by more with Breakin in the head coach. But away to Rafe we made amends. Glenn Ray with another early goal. Nicky Clark with a brace. And Lauren Shanklin with 1. We rotated. We got a lot of those new signings bedded in. Really good to get them instant football. But we won all the games. And that leads us into these in good form. So let's start with Aberdeen. As the 2 Old Firm clubs have drawn, they are level on points. Rangers must have dropped a result somewhere then. We're 6 points behind them. So we know we're not catching the Old Firm clubs this year. We're very much in the battle for 3rd. Motherwell are 5 behind us. They're playing the bottom side St Mirren today. And after that, there's a 10-point gap from us to 5th. So even at this early stage, probably chiefly due to Aberdeen's start and partly Hibs as well, we're in a position where we think we probably can't finish lower than 4th. So if the Cup's won by one of the 2 giants or us, that would guarantee us European football. And we can't ask for much more. So we're being suggested to put in Garbutt and Pearson. But for now, in the league games, as I'll put on the opposition instructions, they've got Josh Windass at Aberdeen. That's a good signing. Not rated quite so well in this game though. But one of the things I wanted to do in this midfield 4, and particularly in this 11 for the first league game, is just keep the ones that have been playing at the start of the season. They've been doing really well. Liam Smith's not fully fit yet, so Clark stays in at right back. We're sticking with O'Reilly at home to a side in the bottom half rather than Butcher. But all of the signings, so Pearson, Houghton, Ray and Garbutt, all on the bench for this one. And if these guys keep winning, keep producing good performances, we'll keep it going. That's what we're going to work with. Jake, enjoyed the Sunderland managerial pod. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it. We're growing really quickly over there. So we're trying to chase to 1,000. Because obviously that will give us opportunities with sort of sponsorship and ad revenue and things like that. Just to grow the podcast a bit. But it's going really great. It's growing really quickly. And for us, it's been good to keep that regular interaction during the lockdowns and all that stuff this year. And being able to speak to loads of pros has been a dream come true. So I can't complain. But thank you for all the thumbs up. We're into double figures already. Let's go and get into the first game and see if it's ruined, shall we? Hopefully we can get a result. Even if it's a point, just to keep unbeaten runs going is something we're looking at. There's loads of opposition instructions on. We've made 9 changes from the cup game. So I think that's just Shankland and the keeper. I know even the keeper's changed. So it's Shankland and who was the other one? Trying to work out who started the last game out of them. I don't know. Maybe it was Josh Clark actually. Played on the right wing, I think. But let's go and pump the fist. Tell the lads to prove a point. Of course, the last game we played on camera in the Sunday stream was a defeat away at Hamilton, if I remember rightly. And although we've bounced back off camera, I always worry if the lads are getting a bit shy. Thank you for everyone getting involved as well. Please do come and let me know down in the chat. Who are your side playing this evening? What are your hopes for the result? As Aberdeen have sort of stifled us with this tactic. So 3-5-2-2-1. And it looks pretty good. Which Watkins is that up front? Marley Watkins. They've got Niall McGinn in behind with Windass. And it's been a pretty nothing first half. Not that I'm complaining at the moment. It doesn't seem like it's going too badly. We'll certainly take it. And at half-time, it's 0-0. We've had no shots on target. Dundee and Aberdeen have only had one shot on target all game. We're going to say we're not happy. There's a couple of lads that look a bit apprehensive. So let's go and talk to the individuals. It's something I've not done enough this year. So the two that are apprehensive and demotivated, let's stretch the arms out and say, there's no pressure on you today. No reaction whatsoever. And into the second half we go. If you were Ollie, would you play Pogba tonight? Yes. Yeah, I would tonight. After the weekend, which was far more encouraging. I would start him tonight. Give him the chance to get in a bit of a vein of form. You know, no player really is at their best when they're in and out every other week. You can't expect someone to reach top form. If the things are going right off the pitch and he's mentally in the right place and he's working hard enough in training, play him. You've got to put your best team out on nights like this. Sporrell gets it in. McNulty 1-on-1. And Mark McNulty is a goal-scoring machine. What a legend. He's got back in the Scotland squad as well, by the way. He's playing that well for us. I know a couple of you said he wasn't great for them in the past, but what a player he's been for us this season. Mark McNulty, probably outdoing Shankland, who was the main one I was looking to when I joined. It looks like Motherwell are winning as well, because they've gone on to 20 points. They're playing a weak St Mirren side, so we can't be too surprised by that. As Joe Lewis has got the goal kick. We'll start the subs in a minute. I've got to remember the 3 substitution breaks, because that's what I forgot last time. Got myself in a pickle, as Shankland has a shot saved. So we've got to remember to pause it and make 2 or 3 at once. So what we're going to do, we've got a lot more options now, of course. We're going to bring Liam Smith on at right back for Clark. And in fact, we're not going to do that. Clark's going to go in right midfield. Bolton's going to come off. He's been training the best, but he's been working so hard. So I just want to manage him. We're going to take O'Reilly off for Butcher, because now we've got the lead. We can drop to a central midfielder on defend. We could have brought Houghton on, but I don't think this is the right game for it. Fuchs is apprehensive, so Glenn Ray, perfect replacement. And we'll leave it at that for now. 3 changes made and 21 minutes remaining plus stoppage time. Tom, but his agent said he's off. Yeah, but agents say a lot. They're all idiots, aren't they? No, that's not true. Some of them are idiots. So, yeah, don't worry about the agents. If he played well at the weekend and he's training well, the lads are happy, get him in the team. Simple as that. Here's Glenn Ray, just inside their half. He finds Smith on the right. Smith gets to the byline, off the bench, and it suddenly ends. I mean, the second half, we've been brilliant in restricting chances. But I'm not sure what more we can do. We've got 12 minutes left. McNulty's tired despite having a good game. So I'm going to bring on Nicky Clark. And then we'll worry about the last sub after that. I think I've left Clark on at right back by mistake. Or have they just not switched as I'd intended? So let's get Smith to right back, Clark to right midfield. Hopefully that'll make us a bit better. We've only got 2 minutes left now. So we've got one more sub in the bank. Ideally, I'd like it to be Clark, but I don't have a right midfielder. Although I could. Do you know what I could do? And I am going to do. I'm going to put Smith on right midfield. And I'm going to put Pearson on at right back. And that's the versatility we've got now. We're going to drop to a balanced mentality. We'll make the sub. And then we'll go time wasting. As Clark delivers. Shankland up. Can't quite get there. Falls for Butcher. Sporrell. Good football in there. Can we create the chance now? Back to Tyrick Mitchell. Solid as a rock at left back for us this year. Up towards the byline. Gets the cross in. It's blocked out for a corner. But that's exactly where we want it with 2 minutes to go. And fingers crossed that'll continue. As we're into 4 minutes of stoppage time. It's a defensive throw which we'll see out. And then we'll make the changes to time waste if we're still 1-0 up. Glenn Ray back to Mitchell. To Reynolds. Long over the top to Nicky Clark. We wouldn't mind a second. But Clark's too slow on the ball and he's lost out. Mengi heads away though. Another one really improving quickly. Sporrell on the left. Taking on his man. Back to Mitchell. Lovely through ball. It's headed away. Oh, it's just giving the ball away at inopportune times. It's not really how we wanted this to go. Mengi picks it up. Over the top. Shankland up. Nicky Clark. He's lost it again. Just keep the ball, boys. What are they doing trying to create here? It's Wright coming forward. If we concede here, I'll be furious. Wright goes in. And it's well wide. So let's go and time waste. We know the drill by now. Try and get through. Dylan, good evening. Welcome along. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate all of your support. Particularly the head coach yesterday. I mean, it's set basically a record on the channel. To have over 500 within 24 hours is absolutely insane for an episode 16 into a series. I don't really know what to say about it other than thank you. We're going to be more disciplined. We're going to slow it down. We're going to regroup when we lose the ball. Drop the attacking line just to try and close the gaps. Hopefully that works. 3.5 minutes left for a brilliant win. And again, a lot of these games, we've not been sensational this year, but we've ground out victories. We've nicked good goals on the counter. And again, a thoroughly deserved 1-0 win against Aberdeen. The lads are motivated. We've got them all on board. We're in brilliant form. Motherwell win as well. It looks like it's a 4-horse race. Or I should say a 2-horse race for third. But it almost looks as if the top 4's decided. So if we can get ourselves in that top half split, we're very pleased. Tom, you're welcome. What am I welcome for? Just you. You and your nice support. I can't thank you enough, genuinely. Jokes aside, I am really humbled to be where I am, so I appreciate it. And we reached a massive milestone yesterday. So since the new game came out, 28 days it's been, over 500 subscribers gained, which for a channel this size is probably beyond ridiculous. So thank you for all your support with it. Thank you for the podcast. That's gone up about 150 in 4 weeks as well. It's just all going swimmingly at the moment. And despite being back to work and not being able to do as much, it's not really dropped off. So your support is unwavering and I do appreciate it. And that's a good start to the stream. We've got St Johnstone away next, which is going to be a tough one. They're in 5th. Who have they got this week? They haven't got a game now, have they? So they're going to be a game behind. They haven't got a game before this Dundee United one. Very strange. But there we are. It's a good start nonetheless. Mark, top 4 sorted and it's only October. Exactly. Absolutely perfect, isn't it? The lower leagues haven't even kicked off yet and we've wrapped up 4th in the Premiership. Liam Garbutt's injured. Luke Garbutt, sorry. Well, at least Logan Chalmers is on the way back, so levels out a bit, I guess. Paul McMullen we put on a loan list because he wasn't going to get involved now, but still nothing on that front. But I hope we have wrapped up the top 4 now. St Johnstone so far behind. I guess if we lose that one and they've got a game in hand, that could bring them back into it a bit. But I'd like to be further ahead because it gives us leeway. Once we get into that sort of top 6 one where we're playing Rangers and Celtic again, if we've got a smaller squad, we're less likely to pick up new results than the others. So no games that really affect us in the midweek ones. I guess we'd like Hibs to struggle because if they go on a good run, they're a side that can compete with us. Are you going to do a lower tier non-league challenge? Probably not this year. I don't want to do the same thing every year, basically. So I've got one planned. I had one planned for this year. It was going to be a bit different, but the club that I was going to do a bit of work with, we couldn't because of the COVID restrictions. So hopefully next year, I'm going to go, rather than a Builder Nation, I'll go back to a one club alongside the head coach. But it will be below, if all goes to plan, it will be below the playable leagues once the database comes out. And it will not just be a traditional one club story. It will have either a youth academy element or some sort of restrictions on it. So that's the plan. But probably not this year. Tom, where will you be sat on Saturday? I don't know where we're sat yet, but my entrance is the same one in the Kenilworth stand that I would normally. So I'd presume I'll be in that block. Either in the Kenilworth upper or lower, on the sort of side I would have sat before. But obviously I'm in a group of 1, so I'll just have a... I guess that's the benefit of being in a group of 1, isn't it? Any day where someone pulls out, if it's an odd person or that, you've got a chance, haven't you? Because you're an easier one to find a space for. We've got offers to get a recruitment analyst in. I'm just trying to find the best one, really. I mean, these 2 are the best, but I don't know what their attributes are. So fairly professional, spirited. So let's get a fairly professional recruitment analyst in. Because the more of them we've got, the better. And then we won't just have to sign players from Luton forever. There we go. 5-year deal, because the less I have to do them, the better. That'll hopefully take us through most of this save. Mark, famous last words, exactly. Macca evening, thank you for coming in as always. Lovely to see so many regulars. It's sort of something I've noticed. The Tuesday evenings is a lot more the regulars. And then the Sunday has a lot more of the newer faces. And more from other parts of the world, I guess. There's a lot on Sunday that are from like Australia and Indonesia and that. And, you know, bless them, it's the middle of the night over there. So I wouldn't expect them in. So it's lovely to have that balance, actually. I get to talk to sort of both groups equally, which is great. And I quite like these ones because we can just blitz through games and talk about the fixtures in the evening. Because there's always EFL games on a Tuesday night now. There's always Champions League games. There'll be FA Cup back soon again. I think I've just said that we were going to sign Harvey White, who we had on loan at Wigan. But we won't be doing that, I can assure you. Tom, blow NJ a kiss from me. He's on the other side, isn't he? Because the dugouts are still in the main stand. So I'm sure he won't be able to see that, unfortunately. I probably won't do a matchday vlog for the podcast, which is something I've been asked a couple of times already. But I was going to trial a new series on this channel once we could return to football. Particularly for Luton games, where I don't really want to get out of the swing of the action. I don't really like doing vlogs at Luton because I want to watch the game. I get engrossed in it. But I will trial a new series, potentially, on Saturday's game. If so, there'll be a video on Saturday evening on the channel. And I'll plug it on the podcast I'll plug it on the live stream on Sunday morning even. I am a mess today. All I've been doing is recording videos, so I've been speaking non-stop for hours. So I can only apologise for my lack of sentences. That would be because of time zone problems, exactly. So the morning on Sunday here is the evening in other places, exactly. So that's why we get more from the other side of the world on the Sunday. I mean, it baffles me enough that people from the other side of the world watch me, so I can't thank you all enough for your support. Let's have a look at the lineup for St Johnstone. We've had to take one out due to injury, which is Garbett, but Chalmers will come back onto the bench. I think aside from that, we'll stick with it as it is. I mean, the only change I'm tempted to make is Houghton in for O'Reilly, because I think he's the better of the two youngsters. But for now, I think we're just going to stick with it again. With 5 subs, it's not so much of an issue. So let's go and face St Johnstone. We're 13 points clear of them at the moment. And if they win this, they'll have 10 behind us with a game in hand. And that's when it starts to get a bit squeaky again. So into it we go. No changes again. And fingers crossed the same outcome. Even if it's 1, I don't mind again. Here we go then. Let's have a look at their side. Young Stephen Welsh, who we had at Cliftonville last year, on loan from Celtic. Danny McNamara, we've talked about in a previous stream. They've got Pochettino's kid on loan from Tottenham. They've got Craig Bryson, Stevie May experience in there as well. It's not a bad little squad, is it actually at all? They've got Murray Davison, Liam Craig, David Wotherspoon on the bench. There's a lot of experience in the squad. Scott Tanzer as well at left back. There's some quality there. It's going to be a difficult one. So let's go and get into the first half. Of course, two sides probably exceeding expectations. And just see if we can get on the front foot. As we've got a throw in the first minute with Clark. Finds Bolton on the wing. Gets the cross in. McNulty's there. And the goal machine's at it again. The chicken celebration's out with 45 seconds gone. A Bolton cross. A McNulty header. And it's absolutely unstoppable. I mean, Lawrence Shankland, as the poacher, was supposed to be the star of this series. And he just can't lay a glove on McNulty. If there's one thing we've got to do, it's make sure he's on loan or permanently here next year, because we can't afford to lose that front two. Scott Tanzer's got a throw on the left for the home side. Clark wins it back though and finds O'Reilly. And we're just constantly first to the ball. It's a fantastic habit to get into. As Shankland gets there again, he's turned provider again. And Mark McNulty in the form of his life. Little delicate dink over the keeper's on-rushing body. And it's 2-0 to Dundee United. Shankland provider again. McNulty goal scorer again. This is going far beyond what I expected. It's fantastic. What a performance so far. But a brilliant start to the season. And here's O'Reilly as he finds Reynolds. And maybe that Hamilton game was just a blip because you can see the form we're in. Reynolds gets it again to Mitchell. And these new lads are going to find it hard to get in. Yes, they'll get a lot of sub appearances. But I can't replace players doing this well. As this time, McNulty turns provider for Shankland. And he'll probably be disappointed he's missed that, because that's a gilt-edged chance. As O'Halloran picks it out on the edge for St Johnstone. Up to Guargis, it's a great save. Brilliant tip over the bar from Siegrist. Looked like he'd been wrong-footed by it, or maybe was late sighting it. But it's a great save. The corner's in, and May heads over the bar. 2-0 with half an hour gone, and it's been a wonderful performance. We're going to see the goal kick, in fact, for Siegrist. Long up to McNulty. He wins it. He flicks on for Shankland. He can't get in one-on-one. He hasn't quite got the legs. Finds Sporrell, though. Left of the box. Into Shankland. And he gets there second time. 3-0 Dundee United. This is superb. We're blitzing them. McNulty is absolutely terrible in real life. He had that one brilliant year, didn't he? If we go back in his history, at Coventry, he had that 1 year that was sublime. And then since then, he sort of fizzled out. I mean, he scored nearly 1 and 2 for Hibs, but he wasn't great performance-wise. But he's playing and scoring goals for Scotland in this version because we've got the best out of him. Maybe we're like that Coventry manager at the time. As we get towards half-time, it's been an even game in terms of chances. Ours have been clear-cut, and we've scored and taken advantage of them. 2 brilliant strikers make it 3-0. And it looks like the top 4 is definitely wrapped up. So European football looks good. And the top half of the mid-season split looks great as well. And it does mean if we get sort of comfortably in 3rd or 4th guaranteed, we can then look at the cups. Although we have just conceded there. Bit of a bizarre goal. Stevie May, after a block, puts it in. Maybe it's not over just yet. Yeah, terrible's a little bit harsh. Perhaps not the best. Or not as effective as this, I think would be fair. Thank you for all the extra viewers as well. Lovely to have so many of you coming in. I hope you're enjoying the Dundee United antics. If you are, please chuck a thumbs up on it. Come and get involved in the chat. As we've got 2 more games after this. And really, we need to start thinking about subs again. Fuchs has been a bit of a disappointment. So Ray on for him. O'Reilly this time will be replaced by Houghton. Sporrell on the left will be replaced by Chalmers. And we'll leave it at 3 for now. But I think we'll be alright. They are having a good second half and they've gone more attacking. So we might just drop to balance now. We're going to ask the lads to focus. And we've still got 2 substitution breaks, so we can make these separately. Bolton's absolutely shattered, so I'm going to have to make the change again. Push Clark forward and bring Smith on at right back. And that's a nice change to be able to make as well. It's the versatility we didn't have before. There's only 9 minutes left. We can make 1 more to waste time later on. So Mengi's going to be replaced by Pearson, just so he gets another appearance for the club. And what an away day this has been. 2.5 minutes to go. Surely we can't concede 2 from here. Macari's performance against San Marino is still etched in my brain. I think service was a little bit depleted as well, as he's gone and scored again. Don't you say a bad word about Mark McNulty. He's my hero over here. If anyone knows him, get him involved, because he is brilliant. Jordan Rhodes, well, that's one, because the curse of the Scottish national team, he came in, and he's barely scored a goal in real life in club football since. I mean, he's just affected his whole career. Yeah, Mac has said the same thing, basically. Nevsky, thank you. No, thank you more. I thank all of you guys. We're 4-1 up here. It's been a brilliant performance. And Ray's getting it downfield. We might nick a 5th here. I mean, St Johnstone have thrown everything at it. And we are lethal on the counter. Again, Shankland dropping to turn provider. And Jordan Houghton's got his first for the club too. I don't think I've ever, and I'm saying this very early, I don't think I've ever managed a side in FM that's this good on the counter-attack. 2 lethal strikers at their level. Midfield runners who look great. I mean, Jordan Houghton is a deep-lying playmaker on support. And he's surging through to nick one on the break for the 5th. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. So if we look at the table, we're now, I know we've played a game more. We're level with Rangers and Celtic. Don't worry, we're not going to finish above them. But 8 clear of Motherwell, so we'll look at their game in particular. And 13 clear of the rest, albeit having played a game more. So after the Saturday and Sunday fixtures, we could look great. Mengi's training fantastically. I think it's too soon to try and loan them for another year. But as soon as we can, we will do that. And we'll look at the same for McNulty now. When does his club contract expire? That's the big question. 2022. So, can we get him on loan again? Too soon to extend it. But I don't want him to get snapped up by another club. He's worth 3.5 million, so we can't do anything about that. My problem is he's playing so well for us that we're not going to be able to get him then. We're delighted with him. we're just praising everything. I don't know what else to do other than say, how on earth is this going so well? Shall we see if Tottenham are in the relegation zone again? That happened in the Wigan live stream save, didn't it? I know a few of you had a bit of fun once they got relegated. I'm still playing it off camera, ironically. Let's see if we can get Tottenham up. They're 13th. It's not much better. I mean, yes, they've at least won a game this time. It took them 25 attempts last time round. Anyone else down there? Liverpool in 8th. It's a bit early to tell though, isn't it? How many's Kane scored? 1 in 4. He's certainly doing better than that for me in the Championship. Macca, this is the exact opposites of the Tranmere side I took over recently. They're not really, to be fair, in real life, they're not really a counter-attacking side. They play that sort of, well, they were, but they aren't now. They play that sort of controlling football with a target man. They've got James Vaughan up there. The biggest regret for them, for me, was letting Paul Mullin go. He was a goal scorer off the bench at any point. And he's flying with Cambridge now, I think. So let's see how these weekend games go. Hibs are away to Kilmarnock. Motherwell are at home to Ross County. And they've both got a win to keep the pressure on, really. Thank you for everyone joining in as well. Hibs have lost. Motherwell have won. So, basically, if Livingston don't win their game, it's us and Motherwell for 3rd and 4th, isn't it? The old Luton legend Steve Robinson doing a great job there. A few of the old Luton boys in the team, wasn't it? Steve O'Donnell on the right wing. They got Ross Wallace, who we had on trial. Oh, it's nice to see. It's nice to see them doing well. They're the side I would like to be in 4th, given the Luton connections. But our Luton boys barely getting a kick so far. We're doing brilliantly from the start. Our next game isn't till Friday, so I'll let the reserves play in the game for them. Logan Chalmers can have 60 on his way back as well. Liam Smith, 45. Just trying to etch a little bit of fitness in. Aberdeen v Celtic. I mean, Aberdeen could do us a massive favour there. Rangers should beat Livingston, which will hold them off. And both of those have happened. So it is definitely 3rd or 4th this year, I think. We'd have to go on an almighty bad run to finish lower than that. But thank you for all your support. Thank you for checking out all the videos as well. The growth has been spectacular for me. And the head coach yesterday, I've never had an episode mid-series that has done anything like that. We're obviously back for the final game of Season 2 with Bangor today as well. We've got our first game in the head coach at our new club tomorrow. And then we've got our first European game with Bangor in Season 3. The only thing that will be determined in today's episode is whether that is European Champions League football or Europa Conference qualifiers. But everything going swimmingly. I'm trying to plan a little special something for Christmas week as well. But we'll wait and see. Macca, how did O'Donnell get on at Luton? He was quite good for us. I mean, he couldn't really defend a huge amount, but he suited the way we played. It's just in the end that we had... I'm trying to think of the correlation timing-wise. James Justin came through, who obviously now is at Leicester, playing for England under 21s regularly, playing for Leicester every week. So he came through and sort of had an influence in that right-back role. And I don't think he was ever really trusted defensively. And obviously the season he went, we bought in Jack Stacey as well to replace him at right back. So I think he was offered a new deal. It's just he rejected it because he wasn't going to be first choice. And then Jack Stacey came in, played for us for 2 years and then went to Bournemouth for 4 million. So he was a good player for us. He did all right. The one goal he scored was brilliant. But I can see why he left and it led us to better fullbacks, unfortunately. So yeah, it worked out for everyone. But he was certainly a decent player for us. We've got our third game today. We're still being asked to put Matty Pearson in, but I'm not doing it just yet. Because Reynolds is the club captain as well, by the way. Who's your choice to win the title? Do I dare say Rangers? I'm gonna. Because of the sides we played, Celtic barely laid a glove on us. And they battered us 5-0 Rangers. So we've got to say them. It's just how consistent they can be. And it looks like in this save, the Old Firm games will decide the title. And they're obviously a bit more unique. Ross County at home next, and then bottom side St Mirren away. See, these are the two that are normally your sort of banana skins that you slip up on, aren't they? So let's hope that's not today. And then it's Coventry v Luton, so I've got more to look forward to this evening. But I've got to say, knowing that I'm going back to watch it live on Saturday is a massive thing. It's been brilliant to hear. So let's have a look at the lineup. Do I dare go same again? I mean, the performance was that good. Nicky Clark's got a knock, so Apere will have to go on as the sub-striker. It's probably the only area we're a bit light if Clark gets injured, or one of the front two. I think Clark's the only one that could produce what Shankland and McNulty are. But otherwise, I think we go with the same team again. I mean, what is there to change in the way we're performing? I might have an answer to that today if we fall off the cliff suddenly. But I'm delighted with where we are. So, up against Stuart Kettlewell's men. They've got a decent side, but I'd fancy our chances if we're at our best to beat them. So we're going to tell the lads to prove a point. Most of them are motivated. We're among the possession leaders. That surprises me. We're not playing possession football. But let's go and get into it. First half against Ross County. And I'll try and make sure I see the goals today. Thank you for all the extras coming in as well. Do appreciate your support as Fuchs nicks it high up, puts Shankland in, and we nick it early on. We capitalise on mistakes. We're ruthless on counter-attacks. And we are becoming some side to watch. Lawrence Shankland puts us ahead. We've got two ruthless goal scorers up there. And we're already in the lead. It's fantastic. I mean, we have built a good side here. I would be interested to see, actually, with the signings we bought in on deadline day, where do the media have us to finish now? Because it was 7th pre-season. I see it's 4th now. So it is just because Aberdeen are having a poor season. Otherwise, we're best of the rest. So I can absolutely see that. Motherwell obviously a good team as well. And they've had a good start to the season. But Hibs and Aberdeen have started poorly. And that's why we've been able to get up into this best of the rest nick. It's not been a great performance so far by any means in this match. But Mitchell's got to throw again. And if we create 4 or 5 chances a game, I'd bank on us to get 2 or 3 goals. Shankland just glances his header over the bar there. But it's been another really strong first half performance. And that's all you can really ask for. 5 minutes to the break, we've had the domination in terms of shots. Ross County have only had 1 on target, so very low threat of us conceding. And Clark's got a throw in again on the right. Shankland keeps coming wide, is creating things rather than scoring them. Finds Bolton who crosses, McNulty's in. He is so good in this game. Bolton's cross to McNulty every single time. It seems to lead to a goal, that combination. Thank you for the extra thumbs up. It does make such a difference. Thank you for all your support on the channel. Whether it's a thumbs up, watching a video, subscribing, watching an advert, whatever it is. It all does make the difference. And to be honest, when I have days like this that I find out I can go back to watch football in the flesh on Saturday, and that we're having this sort of form with Dundee United and some of our Luton heroes in the squad, you couldn't be much happier. What a fantastic evening it's turning into. Now I just need Luton to surprise Coventry. I know there's some Coventry fans that won't be hoping for that, both here and on the podcast channel, but I am hoping for a nicked 1-0 win or something, as McNulty picks it up off Kelly. Thought he was going to get a second yellow there, as O'Reilly finds Sporrell. I mean, the hunger to win the ball back's sensational. O'Reilly gets it wide to Mitchell, overlapping on the left into McNulty. Shot's blocked and he tries to keep it in, but it's a corner kick on the hour mark, and it's stunning. It is absolutely stunning. Sporrell puts it in, header away. Back out to the corner taker. Crosses in again. McNulty's there. Straight at Doohan who saves. Probably should have scored that by his standards. Let's go and make a couple of changes, because O'Reilly and Sporrell both struggling. In terms of form anyway, it's not been disastrous. It's just they're playing averagely and the rest are brilliant. So Houghton on, Sporrell replaced by Chalmers and Clark replaced by Smith. 3 youngsters on again. And just a fantastic performance. Tremarco goes short with a throw-in and we're nicking it high up the pitch again. The pressing seems to get most of the other teams outside the old firm as McNulty's screamer hits the post from 30 yards. Let's have a look. Dylan, why don't you consider... Let's have a look. I'm not quite sure. It's a good performance. Bear with me if I lost you for a second there, as we've got in again with McNulty who scored a third. What a performance this has been. Oh, Mark McNulty, what a hero he's becoming. Did anyone expect him to be our cult hero this year? Because I certainly didn't. I think we just dropped out for a second there. It looked like YouTube dropped out, but thank you for coming in. Dylan, Luca Cannell obviously was a hero for me in Cliftonville, my final FM20 save. We had him on loan the last couple of years on the left wing. He was brilliant for us. But don't forget here, we can only get players who are scouted organically or that we come across organically. So I couldn't just go and say, let's look for this player in the player search. So unless he's scouted or he pops up, we can't go and look for him. Simple as that. So let's go and make some changes. I have paused it to make the last couple. I'm going to take Reynolds off for Pearson, just to try and get that combination in the middle used to each other. And then I'd like to bring on Ray, but I probably should bring on Robson at left back. That's the problem. I don't know which one to do. We'll leave it a minute. We've made 3 changes. We've got 1 substitution break remaining. So let's go and have a look at who it's going to be. I'm not sure which one will be best though. We are going to go for... I mean, Ray's 26, but he's a good player. Robson is 22. Mitchell's having the worst game. I mean, it probably should be. Let's do it. Tyrick Mitchell's going to come off. Jamie Robson on. And we'll make sure Glenn Ray gets on in the first lot next time. But a brilliant performance again. A brilliant result again. And we're definitely going to be best of the rest at this rate. Only Motherwell can chase us. And top 4 is Europe. 3 minutes of stoppage time. A 3-0 lead. Another perfect performance. Mark McNulty deadly in front of goal. Shanklin set it off. And we are absolutely flying. I did not expect it to go this well. Thank you for everyone's thumbs up and support. Great to have so many of you in this evening as always. Of course, we will be live on Sunday morning again. Every Sunday at 10:30. Every Tuesday at 5:30 with this save. And hopefully, I'll have a Luton game that I can talk about. That I've been to watch in the flesh. It looks like it anyway. So we're going to say Mengi's doing really well. We're going to say McNulty's doing really well. He must be at close to 1 a game, is he? 16 in 13 he scored. Shanklin's got, I think, 5 or 6. 6 in 13. So that's 21 between the two of them in 13 games. 22, in fact, sorry. I mean, it's incredible, really, isn't it? So we stay in 3rd place. Again, the weekend will determine how close this is going to be. 5th place, Livingston play 4th place, Motherwell. Livingston win that. I'd say we've almost wrapped up 3rd already. And then it's just about next summer. Can we chase the old firm and prepare for Europe? But we have got 1 more game this evening. That is away to St Mirren, who are bottom of the table. Now, these are the types of games that can go wrong. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself just yet. Joe, welcome along. Thanks for popping in. Cliftonville fans, hello. Did you hear your ears burning when we were talking about Luca Cannell's Cliftonville stint in last year's game? But thank you for popping in. Thank you for coming to sample some Dundee United. I do appreciate it. It's great to have so many of the regulars in. Good to see 1 or 2 new faces as well. And lovely to see this live stream save doing so well. Tom, why do you think it's ridiculous people are saying Arteta out? I'm backing him, but it's not ridiculous to say. It is ridiculous to say. How many... Let me just confirm before I make the statement. How many Premier League games there have been this season? I'm just going to check because I don't want to be factually incorrect here. So, let me get the table up. So, there's been 11 Premier League games. So, Arsenal have won every Europa League game. Probably their best chance at a trophy. They're still in the Carabao Cup, am I right? You're in the quarters against City. So, still in the Carabao Cup. Probably your next best chance to win a trophy. After 11 games... Yes, you're struggling. You're in 15th in the league. However, you are 2 wins away from 6th place United. 1 win puts you back in the top half. And before those 11 league games, he won you the FA Cup against 2 of the better sides with better squads in England. Give him time. Give him an opportunity. It's certainly ridiculous to say Arteta out at this stage. Give him a proper season. He'll be brilliant for you. Mackie, you can win this league this season, I believe. No, not. I wouldn't say so the way we played against Rangers, where they beat us 5. It was too good. They're too far away, but we'll definitely be best of the rest with Motherwell at the moment. Bean, welcome along. Dundee United fan. Lovely to have you in. Appreciate you coming and giving it a try. Hopefully, you're delighted with where we are in the league. The finances dropping off is a bit more of a worry, but otherwise... Things are going swimmingly. We've just got to try not to get embarrassed at the bottom side now. So I'm going to ramp Chalmers up to 90 minutes now for the reserves. McMullen's back from injury, so he can do 60. Garbutt's back from injury, he can do 60. McNulty's got player of the month, no surprises there. Oh look, it's a full channel affair. Shankland second, and Callum Lang from our Wigan beta save is third. He's scoring them for Motherwell. No wonder they're doing so well. Seems to be a bit more consistent there than he was for us. Young player of the month goes to Luke Bolton. Third place goes to Mengi. Goal of the month, third place to Shankland. We get manager of the month. It's fantastic, isn't it? I think we'll know how close we'll be to the Old Firm clubs when we play the next fixtures against them. Rangers at home, who beat us by 5. Celtic away, who we beat at home but got outplayed by. That'll be the learning point for us. But they seem so consistent against the other sides, as we'll probably find out again in a minute, that it looks like it'll be too far. Charlie, is Gary McSheffrey in game? Yeah, he's an under-18 coach for Doncaster. If I show you. He's not a player though. Under-18's assistant manager. Excellent working with youngsters. Pretty average, solid stats everywhere else. And he's got a bit of potential as well. And they've even, to show you the FM detail, they've got the full knowledge of Sweden from his stint at Braga in his early days. There you go. Obviously, we talked to him about that in quite a lot of detail, but that's in there as well. I'm sure he will tell you that that 600 quid a week isn't quite correct. He has said youth coaching doesn't quite have that much money in it. But otherwise, everything pretty accurate there. Tom, can't make chances, don't score goals. Signings like Cedric and Willian on long-term deals are concerning. Tom, just trust me on this. Please trust me on this. Give Arteta time. If the fans get behind him, he'll produce for you. He won the FA Cup against all odds. You've got to give him a little bit of leeway for that. And every good manager comes in and builds the foundation from the back. You've had a side who have been so leaky for so many years. He's trying to sort that out, which to a large extent he has. And the goals will come. They'll build on that. Callum Butcher's picked up a knock, so he'll miss this week's game. Not a huge miss now, to be honest. And it means Glenn Ray definitely will get off the bench first in midfield, which is something we needed after the last couple. But with one game to go this afternoon, it looks like we're in pretty good nick. Oh no, Matty Pearson's done his ribs. Oh, that's a problem. Well, Glenn Ray might be deputising at centre-half as he has for Luton. We're going to send him to the specialist so there's no follow-on problems from it. But Pearson's basically out till the January window. We've still got Mengi, we've still got Reynolds, we've still got Edwards, and we've still got Glenn Ray who can drop in as well. So it's not too much of an issue, but it's far from ideal. Certainly when we've spent money on him as well. Tom, I'm giving him time. I back him, but I back Wenger to the very end. I'm probably too slow to see a moment change is needed. It's certainly not now. I'm sorry. If after 11 games domestically from Arteta winning the FA Cup in the circumstances he did, the improvement defensively, despite the problems going forward, and gelling a new attacking force as well, and a lot of young players. If people, or a majority, as it seemed to be, or a large minority of Arsenal fans wanted him out after 11 games, I'm sorry, you deserve what's coming to you, because you've got to have a bit of patience and understanding. There is no way that getting rid of Arteta is the best move for Arsenal, and there's no way it will benefit you long term. So, while I appreciate you're giving him time, there's some that aren't, and that worries me. But, final game of the day against St Mirren, same 11, same 20, bar the fact that Edwards comes in for the injured Pearson. And Nicky Clark's back to near enough fitness. What was he out with? Pulled ankle ligaments. We're not going to risk him then. Bottom of the table, St Mirren. On paper, we should win this. But it went wrong against Hamilton, and maybe this is the one as well. We just don't want the consistency to slip. Prediction for the Messi versus Ronaldo. I don't know what... I know I'm old-fashioned. I don't know what has to be debated. We're that lucky to have two players that good in our generation. For me, I slightly enjoy watching Messi more, but Ronaldo has perfected his craft more in terms of working to be good in certain facets of the game. And we don't know if Messi in 2 years will be the same as Ronaldo is now. Ronaldo's refined his game. Messi will have to do the same. But yeah, I don't get the competition with it. Enjoy them both. They're both brilliant. Let's get into this final game then. We'll tell the lads to prove a point. We'll tell the lads it's a great chance. We're in third place. We're doing well. And it's going to be a good way to finish, I think. Jonathan Obika needs closing down. We'll see how that works out. Cheney 1000, thank you for coming in. Goals are hard to score. Look at Kenny's Island. 1 goal in 8 or something. Yeah, well, that's because he wouldn't play James Collins for 6 games. They put him in. First game, he didn't get any service, but still got man of the match. And second game, he looked like scoring. As Shankland's put us ahead again, I think. He has. I missed that one as well. I have looked at the replay, though. It's just behind on the YouTube studio, so I can watch it back afterwards while I'm talking to you guys then. Another set-piece knockdown. Brilliant. Oh, Dylan, you mean for Juve Barca tonight? Sorry, I got it because I saw the BT Sport did a YouTube video where they were talking Messi v Ronaldo. Tonight, I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a bore draw, to be honest. Pirlo's side have drawn a lot of games. Barcelona are good but not great yet. They've still got the injury to Fathy, haven't they? So I would say probably 1-1 or 2-2 because both are suspect at the back. So I don't think it'll be 0-0. As Reynolds picks it up with a free kick here to Sporrell. O'Reilly gets it up to Mitchell on the left wing. Chance to cross from the byline. Into the back post. Oh, Bolton's there. McNulty on the follow-up. He is so good. He is so good. I mean, Luke Bolton, you saw him there. Just giving him the hallelujah. What a legend. It's 2-0 at St Mirren. No slip-up. And we are very much staying best of the rest. And in the chasing pack to the Old Firm. Nowhere near on the goal difference. Nowhere near on the quality. But very close on consistency. So let's get some subs on. We are going to bring on loads of them. Smith at right back. On the right wing, it will be Chalmers. In centre mid, it will be Glenn Ray and Jordan Houghton. Logan Chalmers will go to an inverted winger, apparently. And then the final one, I'm going to save a few minutes, but then we'll try and bring on young Robson again, just to get him a bit more football. Thank you for the extra thumbs up as well. Thank you for everyone coming in. We shouldn't go too far past the hour mark today based on this game, as they've left big holes at the back. McNulty's left Shankland in. There was one defender against 2 attackers there. St Mirren chasing the game and they've let in a third. And today it's Shankland's turn to outscore McNulty. I mean, it is the best combination and the perfect advert for a front 2 rather than one up front. What a performance it's been. Reynolds gets it away to McNulty. Out to Sporrell on the left wing. I might actually take him off for Robson because Mitchell's doing well and he's fitter. So Sporrell gets it into McNulty. Chance to shoot and it's just wide of the post. Jamie Robson on left midfield. And a rest for Adrian Sporrell. Brilliant performance though as Chalmers clears it downfield. Shaughnessy gives it away on halfway. Houghton to McNulty. In for Shankland on his hat-trick. Chance to turn provider again. Shankland scores. 4-0. 3 for Shankland. A brilliant away day. And even the goal difference is catching up now. How is it going this well with Dundee United? What a side we've produced here. It is just a joy to watch. I could claim tactical masterminds and all of that, but it has just been a deadly duo up front, lots of balls in behind and deadly counter-attacks. It's been that simple. A wonderful performance and result at the basement side. No slip-ups this time. I think Hamilton's probably the only game we haven't won or haven't got a result from that we would have expected to. We obviously drew away at Ross County, but that was an okay result. We're going to have a few of them this year. 5 matches won in a row. Lawrence Shankland superb in front of goal. And let's have a look at where that leaves us. I think we've got our 2 cup games coming up. I'll finish that group off camera because we've won 3 already. Ross County have dropped 2 points at Rafe, who won on penalties. So there's actually, we'll probably have won it before that game. If not, we'll come back for that one. If we're already through, then we'll come back for Hamilton. The side that beat us at their grounds. And then we've got Livingston who are doing well. Rangers at home, who beat us obviously by 5 in the return fixture. And then Hibs away, who are one of the better sides as well. So it is looking fantastic at the moment. We will be back on Sunday at 10:30 in the morning for more antics from Dundee United. But what a fantastic looking table that is. Could not be in much better position at the moment. and the start's been a dream. Let me know what you think of the signings. Let me know what you think of all of the form and the fantastic results and the counter-attacking football from the front two. Thank you for joining me, for getting involved in the chat. Thank you for all the thumbs up on the video and support. You can check out today's Bangor City on the channel. Yesterday's head coach went absolutely nuts, so thank you for your support with that. And I'll see you on Sunday at 10:30 AM for the next stint with Dundee United. Thank you for watching. See you next time.